So after you learn the notes on the 6th, 5th, and 4th string, I like to kind of cheat on the top 3 strings. Just by building in another study, which is the study of octaves, and where you can find the octave on the fretboard. If you use the other strings and get really comfortable with knowing the frets, knowing the notes from the open position all the way to the 12th on the bottom 3 strings, strings 6, 5, and 4, then you can take some knowledge of octaves and find out any note very quickly on the top 3 strings. Okay, so let's figure out how that's done. If you want to figure out the notes on the 3rd string, one way to do it is to think about your standard power chord shape like this. And I'm playing a D power chord, and I know that because I'm starting on a D note here. And if I skip the 4th string, and then I put my finger down in that same shape and just move from the 4th string to the 3rd string here, that note that I moved to is the octave of my 1st finger note on the 5th string. You hear that has a real nice ring to it. It's the same note, only this one is a little higher. It's the same thing that we have with our 2 E strings. Okay, so now with that knowledge, as long as you're comfortable on the 5th string, you can figure out any note on the 3rd string pretty quickly. So say I'm right here, and we talked about this earlier, that this is an F. Well, in my power chord shape, my standard, rock and roll power chord shape, the octave would be on the 3rd string, and since I know this is an F, this has to be an F. And you can do that all the way up. And this one, you kind of imagine your finger here on the nut to get that A. See, this is an A ringing. And there's my A fretted. Just imagine it looked like this. Okay, so that's how you can figure out any note on the 3rd string.